mode of, okay, well, I just want to be, somebody that I'm not, but you're always somebody that you are. So a question was presented to me by my mentee. He said, what do I do if I'm not living, but I'm surviving? So I thought about it for a moment, because that's something that you can't give a definitive answer on. And it's something that you need to be able to say, okay, am I really living or am I just surviving? Are you really living or are you just surviving? Those questions are questions that resonate with my heart, because I feel personally like every day I'm living and every day I'm surviving.
So that means both.
So it means both. That is correct. Here is Tariq. Say hello to the world.
Hello, world.
He knows that, we've been through a lot.
I've been through a lot.
Over the last few months. It's been a rocky, slippery slope. And a lot of children are really wondering, like, what is my parent really doing? What is my mother doing? What's my father doing? Are we living or are we surviving? Children want to know these things. As much as we may think that children don't understand or comprehend what may be going on in your life on a day-to-day basis, they know. Children are not stupid. They understand what's going on in your life, even if it's not going on to the level where they can actually comprehend. Children don't know what it means to pay a bill. Children don't know what it means to go grocery shopping. They just know mommy, daddy is going to the grocery store, or we're going to the grocery store, and we're going to get what we can get in order to survive. So when you really think to yourself and you're working on, what am I really doing? Am I living to survive or am I surviving to live? That's really a deep, deep, deep conversation. And that conversation requires attention. It requires a schedule. Write it down. Because you really need to know, are you living to survive or are you surviving to live? And I'm pretty sure a lot of us are tired of wondering, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? We understand that everyone has needs and desires. People in this world all want to know, what am I doing right now? And sometimes we all want to find a way to please each other. But what are you doing to please yourself? What are you doing? Connection. I guess Spectrum said they don't like my connection. So this live today is about, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live?
Living to survive.
This is from a 7-year-old. Are we living to survive or are we surviving to live?
Living to survive.
So do you understand what it means when you are living to survive?
Yes, you're living because you're still up. You're still awakened. Your body's still moving.
Amen. I like that. That was a 7-year-old. Come on, let me get some kudos for the 7-year-olds that's trying out here. We're trying to do something different. And if a 7-year-old can understand and comprehend, then why can't we?
That's weird.
As adults,
y'all should know everything by now. Y'all are adults. Y'all been to school before. Y'all been to high school. Y'all been to middle school. And y'all went to college.
What'd he say? You heard what he said? Did you hear what he said? Now, if a 7-year-old can comprehend, then why can't we? As adults, we spend so much time focused on our own selves.
We don't We don't worry. They don't worry about the kids. They only worrying about themselves. They doing their own job to care for their own self. But some people love their children. They want to care for their children, and that's what my mother do. She tries it. She does it all the time. She's a great mother.
You heard that? This is not rehearsed. When I say we are live, we are live. He literally walked in the house and just sat down. So if a 7-year-old can comprehend what's really going on in this world, why can't we? Why can't we, as adults and human beings, come together to just understand the basics? Like,
some people can help y'all learn the basics.
Yeah, you would think that. But a lot of times, a lot of adults fail to realize that children have feelings.
Us children, we have feelings. We get hurt. We get sad. We get mad. We all have the same emotions because we're all humans.
Say it again. We are all
humans, and we all have the same emotions. Can y'all hear me?
So the question is, are you living to survive or are you surviving to live?
Yeah, y'all. Is it living to survive or surviving to live? I just told y'all the answer.
So if you take a moment and step back and really reevaluate where you're at in your life and what you are trying to do or what you are wanting to do.
We can't really do that stuff in our life. Us kids have to be protected by our moms and our dads. But some people don't be born with a dad or a mom. Just like I was. I was born with a mom.
So tell your story.
I was born with a mom because my dad lives in Alabama. And this is not how life goes. We're supposed to be all a family. Only for one birthday, he came and gave me some money. But on my 6th birthday, he ain't come.
So when you don't have an active dad in your life, how does that make you feel?
Sad. I just want a mom and a dad.
He just wants a mom and a dad. He just wants a mom and a dad. That's priceless. Do you understand that children have feelings? Do you understand that children have emotions? Children are going through it just like we are.
Not everyone gets sad or mad. We all get sad and mad. But some people always give up. Never back down. Never give up. We are all smart enough to do this. Y'all have to believe in yourself.
Amen.
And trust me, y'all do not want to know what happened to my face. I had a rough time.
We are not going to talk about his face, how he splattered it on the concrete and he thought it was okay. No, we're not going to talk about that today. This conversation is about, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live?
Living to survive.
You heard it. I would like everyone that's watching this video or who will watch this video or who will share this video or like or whatever the case may be. Ask yourself that one question.
Are we living to survive or surviving to live?
You heard it from the horse.
And this is a kid. I am a kid, 7.5-year-old. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Tariq. Her name is Quintina. And this video is for, are we living to survive or surviving to live? And everybody's thinking about that in their head. Do y'all know what it is? I said the answer. A.
There's always an answer. The question is, are we really listening to our children? Are we taking the time to value what they are saying and understand that your children have a voice? Your children need more than just your words. Children need action. Children need to be able to understand what mommy and daddy is doing. Why mommy and daddy did that? Like, what is it? So if you got time for everything else, you can go shopping, hang out with your friends, do whatever you want to do. You want to travel, you want to, rob Peter to pay Paul, but you're not investing those things into your children.
You only want to do it for you.
If you're only focused on you and yourself, does that make you a bad parent?
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
As women, we are the ones who carry the children. So if we're the ones that God is trusting to carry these children in our wombs, a whole nother human being. You got a whole nother human being inside of you that you carry for 9 months. Some shorter, but some can be longer. Like my child who decided she didn't want to come out on March 20th. Rewind. She want to come out on March the 12th. So we had to wait until March the 20th for her to arrive into this world. But I do understand and know what it feels like to be a child because I was a child before. I didn't have all the bells and whistles that other children had. So I felt like we were always surviving. In some way or another, we were always surviving. So I was adopted by my maternal grandmother. And she did everything that she could in order to make me or help me to be a successful human being. She never gave up on me. I was always trying to be better than what I was the day before. She also encouraged me to understand that life is literally like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're getting out of that box of chocolate. So when you go into this life and you go into this world, you have to really sit back and reevaluate it and say to yourself, okay, am I living to survive or am I surviving to live? What are you trying to accomplish in this world? What are you trying to accomplish in your life? Do you want better for yourself? Do you want better for your children? Because everything starts at the root. And if you are the root is the one that needs to nurture and provide. The root has to be watered. The root has to be the anchor to everything in your life. There are so many of us still in this life and we're trying to still figure it out. If you are in your late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, and you're still trying to figure out what you are really trying to do in life, somebody dropped the ball somewhere. As parents, we can give you the tools, we can give you the key, but what are you going to do with it if that parent never tells you how to use that key? Because we can all try to figure it out. But if you have parents who want to be responsible, parents who are willing to give all, then your child shouldn't be struggling. Your child shouldn't be struggling in school. Your child shouldn't be struggling in everyday life. If your children are constantly getting in trouble and there are things that are going on in his or her life, and it always come back to the parent. So you have to understand as parents that we are the root. So the root is supposed to provide the correct nourishment to our children and for our children. So if we're not providing that to our children and we're sitting here trying to figure out and we're wondering why are our children dying every day? Think about that. It may not be your child, but children are dying every day. There's not been one day that I haven't saw on the news where some child has gotten killed or they've taken their own life. What does a 6-year-old know about taking their life? I would love to know the answer, because my child, as a 7-year-old, she was nourished. I nourished her. Her grandparents nourished her. You have to nourish these children, because if you don't nourish them, somebody else will, or something will. So if you're allowing YouTube, if you're allowing Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, what's some other stuff y'all use?
TikTok.
Tiki-taki. Yeah, tiki-taki. I don't know all them other stuff,
YouTube.
See, what are we doing? Why are we letting the world educate our children instead of us?
Y'all grown-ups should be the one who's teaching us all the technology. We're only the kids. You're supposed to teach us. So you know how the trees teach their children how to learn and provide wind for us humans. That's how us humans help each other. Just like this. So, if I was a root and my little brother was standing right there and he didn't know what to do, I would have to be the bigger person and help him with the question. That's what we older people have to do. Let's give Tariq a round of applause.
I don't have very many people who come on my live, but I'm very excited that Tariq was willing to come on a live with me, because he didn't have to do it. He was just outside jumping on the trampoline, minding his own little business. And he heard me talking, so he came in and decided to join in. So how many adults, grown adults, are willing to join in? How many grown adults are willing to say, I'm willing to take the I and me. See this? I and me. Who's willing to separate themselves from the I and me to understand it's about we and us. We as a people need to come together and stand in the forefront with our children. We shouldn't be against our children. We should be with our children.
Y'all should be providing for the children, giving for the children. Y'all should not just be like, we just gonna sit down, do whatever we want, let the kids do whatever they want, and let them watch, let the technology just do its thing. Technology is not all about this. It's about you. It's about how you provide for your children and care them and make sure they know their alphabet, their 1, 2, 3s, and how to spell all these words. When I was 6, I helped my sister, Kennedy, come here.
Kennedy's gonna beat him because he just called her out. But for those who just joined in, I decided to do a live today because I haven't done one in a very, very long time. I've literally been sick for the last 3 weeks. I've been to countless doctor's appointments, and every time I have a conversation with a different doctor or a different specialist, they all tell me the same thing. You're not sick. It's just your allergies. Okay, well, tell that to the taste buds that I don't have. I can't smell. I'm congested. My ears won't pop. But I still keep taking the medication because that's what they told me to take. So I'm being obedient and doing what the doctor is saying. But this live today is so that we can have an honest conversation. And if you're not willing to be honest with yourself, then you'll never be able to be honest with your children. Are we living to survive, or are we surviving to live?
Ding, ding. Which one is the answer? I said it the first time when she said it. Let's give a round of applause for Moo. Moo, what is it?
You gotta love kids. They are amazing. I love little people. They're so cool. I love little people. But to all of you who are just joining in with us, this live today is about, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? What are we investing in our children? What are we willing to sacrifice for those children? Are we really ready to let go of everything in the past so that our children can blossom and we can get out of our own way? Because when you decide to bring children into this world, you have to give up the I and me for we and us. There is no more you. When you decide to bring children into this world, yes, every day as a parent, I want to be selfish. I want to be that parent that wants to be selfish. But I still have to be willing to let my child flourish and grow. Allow your child to have feelings. Allow your child to be honest with you. Allow your child to vent. Listen to these children, people. The children are telling you everything. Everything. And if your child is not telling you, then there is somebody standing in that is not helping your child.
Amen.
If you're not helping my child, then I don't need you or want you in my child's life. I don't care who you are, whether you are family, whether you are a friend or an acquaintance or an associate. I could care less. Because if I'm building up the kingdom includes my child.
So if you don't take care of her child, you don't come to the kingdom with her child. Some people decide to be nice so they can just come in the kingdom and do whatever they want and be lazy. Just like Dylan. He really doesn't do nothing. But it only comes down there for the summer. So why should he come to our house? No Dylan allowed. He's not coming to this kingdom that Moo made. This is supposed to be her kingdom and her child kingdom and her family kingdom.
So are you living to survive or are you surviving to live? It is a very valid question. It is a very valid conversation. Because if you're only living to survive, then you're not surviving to live. And if you are surviving to live, you're not living to survive.
So it's living to survive.
So I know quite a few individuals in this world who are parents who want their children to be successful in this world. In order for your child to be successful in this world, you as a parent have to be the one that's willing to separate yourself from the world. So what is your sacrifice? What are you sacrificing as a parent? As a parent, are you sacrificing for your children because you want your children to actually achieve and be successful in this world? Or are you sacrificing as a facade? Oh, I'm going to put on the show. My kids got new clothes. My kids got new shoes. My kids got new toys. What they got to do with their education?
We're supposed to...
People, listen. What are we doing? What are we doing to our children? What are we doing?
We're supposed to be at school learning all this history, math, everything that people learn. He did it. He made it. He's the one who created the world. He sacrificed himself for us. That's the person who made us all.
So if God was willing to send his only begotten son to save sinners such as ourselves, then why can't we as parents? I will say it now. I'll say it tomorrow. I'll say it yesterday. I'll say it until the day I'm cremated and pushed away. What are you really doing? What are we really doing to our children? What are we doing? What are we doing to our children? Why would a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10-year-old, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, why are these kids going through all of the things that they're going through?
Because some people don't care about their children. All they want to do is be lazy. You have to get up, people. We have to work. This is not all about you, I, me, and him. It's about we, us people.
Oh.
We live in this community.
Oh, he just slamming. Look, he just slamming.
Nothing can stop us.
Oh, what he said?
Nothing can get in our way.
He said
we
nothing.
are people. People are the strongest thing in the world. Because God made us that way. And he created us that way. That's why we are the way we are. We're trying to be a better person than we are. Just be yourself.
So are you trying to be a better person?
No, I just want to be myself right now.
He just want to be himself right now.
Everybody can be themselves in a different way. If you want to be somebody different, try to. But it's going to be hard. Some people try to be Michael Jackson. They don't achieve it. Some people try to be like Chris Brown. They don't achieve it. Those are the only two people that can do those stuff.
So again, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live?
Living to survive.
Are we willing to let go of our past traumas so that our children can succeed in this world?
Yes.
We've all been through something in our lives, whether it's mental, physical, emotionally. We're all a driving force. The question still remains, what are we doing to help our children? Do we want our children to live? Do we want our children to survive? Do we want our children to not have to focus on the things that we are still trying to focus on as parents? If you're not willing to sacrifice for your children, you'll never be willing to sacrifice for anybody else. So again, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? Is it worth it?
We're living to survive, people. This is not just me talking. This is God talking and with me. We are in this together, people. We should all group up. Team. We're just people. People, people, people. People everywhere. People back in the days. People now. Some people just want to be fancy. Don't want to do nothing for their kids, but just brag about their clothes and say that they're cooler and they got cooler stuff. That don't matter. It only matters if you're caring about you and your kids. It's God with talking in me, and this is not only God, it's the angels too.
So when you take a moment to step back and reevaluate your life and your circumstances, are you saying, I am willing to give 100% to my children so that my children don't have to suffer from the things that I had to suffer from in my past? If you're not willing to heal from the things of the past, then you'll never be able to move forward in the present. The future is not promised to any of us. We can only live for the day. Today, this day right here is what we have. This is what we have right now. So if you have the pleasure to be a parent, you need to really take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're saying it, why you're saying it. Because your children, they feed into everything that you say. Just like YouTube and Twitter and all these
YouTube
other
is bad for kids.
all these platforms that children are being educated by and educated on. Not one day did I ever want my child to be in a subject of what is going on in this environment, because I knew that I wanted to be a better parent. So I had to give up the I and me for we and us. And when you give up the I and me for we and us, that means you gotta make some serious sacrifices.
You gotta make sacrifices for, like, you in your old pictures. You still have them, because that's your memories on the wall, so you can still remember them. But sometimes the sun disappears. Just like the Lion King says, the sun will set on me and it will rise on you.
He said it. He said it. You heard it from the horse's mouth of a 7-year-old. So if a 7-year-old can comprehend and understand the things that are happening in this world, why can't we as parents?
I'm the only one who watched Mufasa and his dad. It was so sad. Like the movie. We will always be our tribes. We're all different in every type of way. But we're all the same people inside. We all have hearts. We all have brains. So people, let's gather up and let's do this. We can do it. This is the only thing that we can do. Trump is not supposed to be president.
We are not going to do politics on this channel. But world, are we listening? Are we listening? Like, are we hearing? Are we hearing what's really going on?
Because Mufasa said, the sun will set on me and it will rise on you to be king. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be vice president. We're trying to be the good things. We're not trying to be like Scar and just dominate the world with evilness and then turn our backs on our brother. First time I saw Mufasa and Tucker, they were brothers. But sooner, when the Tucker got scared of the snow lion, Mufasa stepped in and gave his mother a paw to fight. But then it started a war. But Mufasa ended the war with a slash.
Mufasa was a great rendition. I liked the new Mufasa that came out. It was definitely very, very awesome. We watched it together, and you know, I definitely try my best to instill those things in the children, because even though life can be like a box of chocolates, it doesn't have to be. You can decide and you can pick and choose what is in that box if you really want to know, or if you really want to succeed or be better than what you were yesterday. Nothing is promised to any of us. I will not ever tell you that every day is going to be promised to us. As we have already seen and we've already known, life changes at a moment's notice.
Some people don't even care about their life. All they care about is their self. Some people be texting while they're driving. They're supposed to have their phone off. That's how car wrecks happen. And nobody wants to end their life. So people, we have to team up. And we have to stop car wrecking. Nobody wants the car wreck. No kid wants to see their mom or their dad in the hospital. That's their dad. That's their mom. Ooh, look at this kid. His mom and his dad had a car wreck. I don't want people picking on me just because of my face. It's not because of my face. I was blessed with this body. And this body is within me. And what I have to say is, people, we all have the genetic energy inside us. We all have the stuff, what you call the pre-show jitters, where we feel like we're going to throw up and stuff. That happens a lot. But sooner as we grow up, and puberty happens, we're older now. We're like a teenager or stuff now. We can finally go to middle school or high school. Then after high school, we go to college.
So do you want to go to college?
I want to be homeschooled like you.
For the record, I was never homeschooled. I went to Wetumpka High, Wetumpka Elementary, Wetumpka Middle School, Wetumpka Intermediate, Wetumpka Junior High, in the lovely, lovely city and state of Wetumpka, Alabama. I was never homeschooled because, we considered school as a safe zone. So we trust the administration and we trust the teachers to take care of our children. So my grandmother, she trusted me with the system, and I graduated.
But her sister didn't.
No, my sister graduated.
But sometimes she did.
She
was working on it.
We're gonna leave the sisters out of it because this is about everybody. So we talking about everybody. So we're focused today on, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? Are we healing? Are we willing to let go of our past traumas so that our children don't have to be victims of our circumstances? Are we willing to say, I am a mother, I am a father, I am ready and willing to relinquish those little bitty things so that my child can be a better version of themselves?
Yes.
Because children are a product of their environment. So whatever they see, whatever you do, they're going to see, they're going to do, and it's going to be a chain reaction. So do you want a chain reaction of events to come that are going to be in a positive, healthy way? Or do you want that chain of reaction to be in a negative way? You should always want positivity. You should always want positive results, especially when it comes to your children. So again, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? What are you needing or wanting to heal from so that your children don't have to suffer from the things of your past? Because as we all know, generational curses are real. And even though we may have not had to deal with slavery, and we may have not have been bought and traded, but a lot of parents, in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of parents are bought and sold every day. Parents are bought and sold because they choose their selves over their children. So if you're not willing to make a sacrifice, then you shouldn't have children. That's just the honest truth. I know it's hardcore, and I know it's because people don't want to hear it and people don't want to listen to it. But at the end of the day, I stand in the gap. I stand in the gap for all of the parents who choose to be a part of the solution. I stand in the gap for those human beings who want to be a part of the solution, because that's what this group is about. We are focused on being a part of the solution. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. But we can do something, even if it's a little something, that helps and maintains the relationships that we're trying to have with our children. Even when our children are grown, they're still going to come back to us. I lost my mother at a very young age. I lost my father at 15. So for me to have to, separate and divide and just learn how to survive and live, it was a struggle for me. It was a struggle. Do I feel like my life would have been different if I had had my father in my life? Yes, I do. I feel like a lot of things would have been different. Even the conversations when I have with others would have been different. The platforms and the things that I created in my life would have been different. Maybe I wouldn't have went this direction and I would have went that direction. So I say this to say, like I always say, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? What past traumas are keeping you back? What past traumas are holding you from being the parent that God has invested in you to be? There are some human beings that just don't deserve to be parents. It might hurt your feelings. It might make you feel bad. But I'm gonna tell you like it is. There are human beings in this world that do not need to be parents. There are a lot of people in this world that are suffering, that are struggling with their addictions and their habits. And they don't have a safe zone that they can go to. So if you are still trying to heal from the things that are transpiring in your life and the things that have happened in your past, you can't donate that to your children.
Some people don't even care about their children. Everybody keep on saying, why are they doing these videos? Why are they doing this? We're doing this for you people. Us people, we have to stand up for our tribe. And what Texas is gonna do is be better. Some schools I don't go to. Some schools my sister we gonna be in another grade. We gonna be in another school by time Jojo get in 5th grade. That's not fair. Cause he was a lower grade than me. He should have been in 1st grade. He's old enough for 1st grade. So why are they putting him in a kindergarten? That don't make no sense. But us people, we have to believe in ourselves. And when I was 6, I taught my sister how to spell out words. See, I was being the bigger person there. I was sounding out with my little mouth. I'll say C-A-N.
So once again, this live today is about, are we living to survive or are we surviving to live? What past traumas are we still healing from or dealing with? And are those past traumas going to be passed on to our children? Because I'm pretty sure that I can attest. I can attest. My father, Lord rest his soul, he was an alcoholic. He was the definition of an alcoholic. He woke up drinking. He drank in the middle of the day. He went to sleep drinking.
How did I know that?
What I took from that conversation, and when it was, when I received that wonderful phone call, hey, your dad is in ICU and, he's going to pass away. And he's, passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. I went into a downward spiral and I started drinking excessively. I was angry. I was upset. I was disappointed because here I am, a 15-year-old trying to figure it out. And I wanted my dad to be in my life. And even though I only met him 3 times, I still love, value, and appreciate him as a human being because I know that I wouldn't be here without him. And I am his only child. And so to grow up in life and think that, your father doesn't want to be a part of your life, it is very hurting. It's a pain that a lot of people don't know how to deal with. And I definitely didn't know how to deal with it at 15. But as I continued to get older, I started to understand how to break down my thoughts, feelings, emotions. I learned how to communicate with people. I learned how to talk to people better. It was definitely a slippery slope. I will be honest about that, because I had to self-identify as an alcoholic. I became an alcoholic because I was still dealing with the generational curses of the past. So when are we going to stop holding on to the past and allow ourselves to heal? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to be a better version of yourself? Your children can't make you want to be a better person. Your children can't make you want to be their parent. And children also can't make you want to sacrifice. You have to be willing to make the ultimate sacrifice.
They only want to try to be like you. They want to know what everything we go. Some kids are blind. Some kids don't have moms and dads. That's sad. But we're going to it one day. And I don't mean right now, but I'm going through it when I get older. I'm not going to have my mom around me because I'm going to be older. Older people have to do what they have to do when they get older. They have to get their job. They don't have no family members there. They probably don't even know where their other family members are. We're only just kids. We don't know what to do. We're not smart enough to know everything in the world. The people that made technology didn't even know how to make it at first. But Elon Musk came up with this.
Again, we don't do politics on this channel.
I'm not doing the politics.
We don't do politics on this channel, okay? We don't do politics. Politics very well, maybe everywhere in this world, but we don't do politics on this particular channel. So as we come to a close, I want each and every one of you to know that I love you, I value you, I appreciate you as the person that you are, but you still need to sit back and listen and hear. Am I living to survive, or am I surviving to live? What past traumas are you holding on to that you have yet to even acknowledge, that you have yet to say, I want to let go and move on? When are you going to forgive? When are you going to say, I choose to be a part of the solution? When are you going to just get out of your own way and just be honest with yourself and say, I'm willing to make the ultimate sacrifice? People make sacrifices every day. Not just you. Our children make sacrifices every day. So the question remains, are we living to survive, or are we surviving to live? And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this live. And those who may want to share it, like it, comment, I greatly appreciate each and every one of them. I love your feedback because it always helps me to be able to do a better live than what I did before. So I know a lot of us are still struggling with some of the things that are going on in our lives, but I want you to understand and know that you're not alone. There are people that are here that are willing to help you. There are people that are willing to support you unconditionally. It very well may be the next door neighbor. It could be the stranger at the grocery store. It can be the stranger that you walk past in the park. You never know who's going to be willing to take that leap of faith with you and say, I'm willing to stand in the gap for you, with you, as long as you're willing to do the work. So are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to say, I choose to be a part of the solution? I'm letting go of the past hurt, the pain, the trauma, the manipulation, the deception, the lies, the cheating, the stealing. Are you willing to let all of that go so your children can be successful? I choose to be a part of the solution. I choose to allow my child to be her own authentic self. And I am so grateful for the people who helped me raise her. Because without that support system, we would have failed. Everybody needs a village. Make sure that village is not trying to burn you in the process. Because there will be people in your village who will burn you. They will be your friends. They will laugh in your face. They will that ain't your friend. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. You are your own worst enemy, and you can be your own best friend. So if you look back and take a look and evaluate the things that have happened over your life over the last 10 years, if nothing has changed in a healthy, positive way, then you need to get rid of some people, places, and things. Because those people, those places, and those things are killing you. And as I always say, I'm going to tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. I am not here to sugarcoat your feelings. I am not here to make you want to be better. I'm here to be a willing vessel that you can depend on to be there to support you when it's positive, when it's healthy, and when it's worth it. So what are you willing to sacrifice for your children? As always, I love
everything.
Each and every one of you, and there is nothing that you can do about it. And I want each of you to wrap your arms around each other, yourself. This big old hug. We're going to give you a big hug because that's what we do as family. As family who love and support each other, we have to invest in our children. And our children will invest in themselves. As always, we love you. Thank you for tuning in. Have a fabulous weekend. And again, this is Tariq and his premiere. This is his first live. And he is on Thoughts, Feelings, Emotions with us. And you heard it from a 7-year-old.
Quintina and Tariq.
We are the QTs. We are the QTs. Get it right, people. Have a wonderful day. I love you. I love you. And have a fabulous day. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you living to sacrifice? Are you breathing to sacrifice? Are you willing to choose to be a part of the solution? Are you living to survive? Are you surviving to live? And are you willing to relinquish those past traumas so that your children can be successful? Mm-hmm. And as always, peace. Out of here.